Hey everybody, I'm back. So what we're going to do now is add the on-demand function. And this involves a button and a spinner and the ability to click a button and go get that inventory fresh. Meaning, without having to run the command at the CLI like I did to seed the database, can I put a button in that will let the user on demand refresh their inventory? They replace a part, they've added a serial, an SFP or a blade or something has RMA'd and they've replaced it. Whatever reason, they need to generate a new report for some reason. We can do it with a click of a button. It's really incredible stuff. So let's take a look at how this is done. Now this is another view, meaning we're going to start in our URLs. Let me turn the maximizer on here, the magnifier, excuse me. And right, we have the on-demand, which is the views button, I've called it. And then we have the individual URLs. Yeah, I have a find open for search result. Let me get, yeah. So then let's do this with the copy-paste approach. We're going to take show version and put it above IP interface brief. And this is now going to be called show inventory result. That is our actual URL page. You could go there directly, by the way, which will trigger this on demand as well. If you're, say, a power user, you can skip the button altogether, go to this URL, and it will fire up the pyATS job. So show inventory on demand, and we're going to call this show inventory. And that is our path, our URL. Well, the next thing again is our view, show inventory on demand. Let's hop into our views file. And I should have a whole on-demand section. And I do. CSV views, we'll come to those. On-demand buttons. So we have our button, our on-demand page. I really simply need to add a request that triggers the operating system and then our CLI command and render that page, okay? And you'll see what this page does. So again, I'm going to copy show version, put it in the alphabetical order here, call it show inventory on demand to match the view. This has to match what we call it in the view. Make sure you update the actual job file. You would hate to run the show version command instead of the show inventory command. And make sure that you update your resulting HTML page. Pardon the dogs, there might be somebody here, I don't know. That's Bella, my 2-year-old dog. And so now we need to go deal with our HTML. All right, so very cool. So what we're going to do is go into our on-demand center, and we have to make a page that you don't really ever see, but we still need the page. So this is going to be, show inventory result, and we're just going to make sure, right, inventory. And now we go to our on-demand center. So there's get all results, which triggers something in my head that we need to update our all results job. While we're in the on-demand work, we will do that as well. Okay, so what we need to do now is a couple of things. We're going to need to add a row for our new on-demand button that we want. And I don't want it to indent like that. Why does it do that? Anyhow, so what we want is show inventory. And then what we want is a new button ID, the show inventory button. Okay, and that is going to run show inventory, the label inside of the button. Now, I like a spinner because this might take some time to run and render the next page. So let's make a spinner that's not visible to begin with. This is important. In the class, we can say not visible. Well, where is that getting not visible from? It's actually getting it from a file in our static folder, our style sheet. We define it at the bottom, not visible. to say display none. All right, so that'll toggle whether or not that spinner is displayed. Okay, so now we're not quite done. Let me close some things down here. We're not quite done in our on-demand page. We need to make this spinner and make the action for this button happen inside of the JavaScript file. Okay, so what I'm going to do is copy show version here. And this is a constant. We're going to make a new constant called show inventory spinner box, which equals the document get element by ID, and that is the show inventory spinner. Show inventory spinner. So now we can access this constant further down below. Now what we're going to use is an AJAX call. Okay, so what I want is this show version button. I'm going to bring that up here, and we're going to rename it to be the show inventory button. Now this has to match our label that we have in the on-demand here. Show inventory button, show inventory button. Well, when we click it, go ahead and get, what do we want to get? We want to get the show inventory result. And before we send it, let's go ahead and remove the not visible class attribute to make the spinner visible. When we get the response as a success, go ahead and re-add not visible, hide the spinner. Now I believe that's all we should have to do here, but I mentioned there is this get all button, and we haven't addressed that yet. Let's address that. That calls this bigger pyATS job that runs all of the commands. So it's very easy. All we need to do is take our show inventory section here and put that into our populate database file here. Good. So now we can do it as part of, right, we're adding to the larger and larger functions. Okay, let's try our on-demand button. Server is running without errors. Good. Let's go to on-demand. And there is our new button. Now, what do you think? If I click it, I should get a spinner. I'm not getting a spinner. That's not a great start. Where's my server here? Here, sometimes I've had cache problems with these buttons and spinners. Let me launch a whole new browser. I hate to blame the browser, but before I fumble around too much, let me rule out the browser. So that was show inventory. Hey, look, what do you know? It was the browser cache. So now it's spinning, and I have to revisit something. And it has worked. It's updated the show inventory. But what color should it be? So hang on. Let's try the get all while we're here. So blue, yellow, blue. I have to change it. Yellow, and then blue, yellow. Okay. But let's test the functionality of the get all button. And it crashed. Okay, so that's not good. Show inventory. Oh, I know what I've done wrong. Hang on. All right, so let's clean this up while we're here. Search results. Search. No, where's the search results here? On demand. Here we go. So, primary, warning, primary. This one should be warning, primary, warning. All right, and then what did I screw up? What was it? The playbook, right, because I forgot to import the new model. I can't just go ahead and call it. I have to import it up here. And I actually have missed two. So I need show inventory, and I need show IP. Did I call it int brief or interface brief? Let me go look at the model. IP int brief. And did I remember to put show IP interface brief in here yet? Learn VLAN, VRF, inventory, IP interface brief. Well, that would have failed anyway because I didn't import that one. Let's try it again. Okay, so let's try get all. And let's just make sure that the playbook runs to completion, which means it's populated the full database. And it did VLAN, VRF, inventory, IP, version. Good, wonderful. Now, I believe I fixed the color scheme. This should be yellow now. Yeah, right. Blue, yellow, blue, yellow, blue, yellow. Inventory is running. So that is our on-demand center. Pretty fast, eh? Pretty incredible stuff to get going. And I keep doing. Where's my magnifier? Where did you go? I will get used to this. I do apologize. This is my first time trying it this way. So, anyway, on demand, in just like a couple clicks, we have every field, just the inventory field, on demand, anytime the user wants it. All right, pretty cool. There's more views. We're not done. We're getting there. But this has been a lot of fun, right? We'll see you soon. Thanks.